Night. Okay. Oh, the check. Check one. Yes. Just checking my audio and just to ensure that everything works right. All right. So let me say a pleasant good night to you and welcome to you all. And I want to give a special welcome to all our first time viewers. And of course, we want to continue to big up the returning viewers, the faithful of the Saudichress show. Happy Monday. And I hope that all was well with you today. And I must say to you people, we plan a very good show for tonight. And let me first say that one of our guests seems to hop out. The other one just asking for a few minutes. He will be joined very, very soon, though. But this is the question one, so there are so many things that I'm sure that persons would like to discuss. And so, Gregory Messam, big up yourself, man. Big up, big up, big up. You don't know. Ever faithful. Check bounce. Most of the time, hello. I'm happy this one doesn't bounce, we have to check. Yes, so yeah, man, Sir Charlie will be in the building very, very shortly. I just spoke to him, so we'll have the plan show going on as what we expected. But in the meantime, we just want to look briefly at some interesting football results. The EPL more so, my God, and also take a look at the JPL just before Sir Charlie join us. But Gregory, we had a show on Friday night where you was there with a few other fans. And it was very interesting to see the results that came out of the EPL over the weekend. We preview. But a few weeks ago, people, just a few weeks ago, I would have thought, most of us also would have thought, that the Premier League title would have done and dusted. More so based on how Arsenal was going. But the big opportunity, I have thought that the top 4 places would have been done and dusted. Yes. But based on these results, it seems like the race for first is still on, lively. It is. And the space for 3 and 4 is also on. Interestingly, at the bottom of the table, let's watch that B word. Let's have come on. But anyway, at the lower end of the table, let me put it this way. It's Southampton rather. Seems like they have been relegated. Yes. But the 19, 18, 17, and 16 teams are still fighting their way. There's still a chance for all the other teams down there, 19, 18, 17, and maybe 16 as well, have a very good chance. Yes, have a very good chance of surviving. So, this Premier League, people, it's very, very interesting. Very interesting. Even then, I have written off Liverpool to make it to top 4. Mathematically, they are now in a very good position. Very good position. But I still don't have Liverpool to make it top 4. The other point I want to say, on Friday, I gave Brighton a better chance than Liverpool. based on the form that Brighton have, the way they have played, not to mention that dramatic 1-0 win over Man United on Thursday, and the way they have been playing in recent time, who would have thought that Everton would have beaten Brighton in their own backyard? Yes, in their own backyard. What a Premier League. Mr. Lee, check. Good evening, family. Evening, Sir Lee. I wonder if I wake you up, Mr. Lee. I know he's a man soon gone, you better. But I appreciate you stay a little longer. Yeah, man. The show can't go on so well without you, right? So, Gregory Mason, Sir Lee, salute. Do anyone notice how many goals scored today? Very interesting, Mason. I have never would have thought. Because basically, it is what? 21 goals scored today from 3 games. 21 goals scored today from 3 goals, Mason. This has been a very long time since we haven't seen so many goals scoring on one match day. But you know what really, the thing that gave me the most interesting story is that Everton Brighton. But you know what, the other thing about this Premier League team, people, when it comes down to this part of the season, the business end as they call it, no team can be taken lightly. Yes, no team. If you recall, Bournemouth were struggling. At one stage, Bournemouth was at 19. And so, where Bournemouth find themselves now, people? They are 14th position. And not just 14th position, but they are safe from relegation. We have seen Forest today beaten Southampton by 3 goals, 4-3 rather. You know, these are two teams that struggled to score goals. And between them, they have scored 7 goals tonight. 7 goals, people. Yes, Gregory. Hey, do you ever think... Oh boy, Gregory, you're easy, you know. Do you ever think Chelsea can beat the noisy neighbors? Listen, I'm just saying, yeah, man. Wow. Mr. Lee, if my memory serves me right, you are a Liverpool fan, right? What's your take on that? All Liverpool fans would have loved to see Chelsea whap up Man U. Maybe Chelsea will score more goals in that match than what they have scored over the past 2 months. But what would have been a drama for football? Has been a drama. But no, what I have seen, what I want to look at really in the EPL, the fact that Man United and Newcastle both lost their games. This has made the top 4 a little bit more interesting, people. Because if you should look at the table, Newcastle is on 65 points. They have played 34 games. Man United on fourth are in fourth. They are on 63 points from 34 games. Liverpool now. Liverpool is on 62 points, but they have played a game more than Newcastle and Man United. Look at the mathematical table now, people. Look at the mathematical table. And I'm sure Gregory Messam has been working through this table for a couple time now. Yes? So the math. Newcastle, with 4 games, they can get 12 points. Will we take them to 77 points from 4 games. Man United from 4 games can get 12 points too. That will take them to, 65 points. No, 75 points, sorry. 75 points. Liverpool can get 9 points. And this will take them to 71. So all being well, all 3 teams win their games, the table will remain the same. However, listen this now. Man United in 4th cannot afford to drop 4 points. Because if they can get 12 and they drop 4, 8 and 63 will give them to 71. That's the highest Liverpool can go if they win all their games too. So that would be a tie. But right now, Liverpool have a superior goal difference. Yeah, man. Liverpool have a superior goal difference over Man United. So they will be on the same amount of points. Just if, Man U should mess up. In the same breath, Newcastle cannot afford to lose 5 points either. Or maybe 6. But it's unlikely. And I mean, the reality of it, it's to me, it's unlikely to see Manchester United not getting 9 points from the possible 12. And I'm just saying that because of what would I say now? The teams that they have ahead of them. Yes? The teams that Man U have to play going forward. They have Wolves on the weekend. Well, I don't think that will be such an easy game. But I think Man U should be able to handle it. Good. And then the following week, they'll travel to Bournemouth. That's the only away game they have left, which they have not been doing well with their away games. So then, look at it. The next 2 games, I believe, are winnable games for Man United. Then they have Chelsea, who hot and cold. But knowing what rivalry brings, and the end of the season where every single team wants to end up on a high, then anything again can happen. Fulham, their final game, they have the advantage, Man U, because of home advantage too. But again, that is the nature of football. I really can't see Man United not getting 9 points from these 12 games. 12 points available. Trust me. That's just my view, though. That's just my view. So I think they are safe. And personally, it's very difficult for, I believe, for Liverpool to continue. A matter of fact, Liverpool have already won 6 games straight. They will have to win 9 games straight. So they have another 3 games. Again, with the exception of Aston Villa, who I think has actually reached their maximum. That's the only challenging game, I believe. But as again, the teams who are facing relegation, people who are fighting for their lives, the Leicester Cities. Well, Southampton is a big spoiler because they have nothing to lose in that game, the final game for Liverpool. So it's very interesting. So I continue. I believe that the top 4 as is will be it. Liverpool, Tottenham, and Brighton will have to play in the minor European places. All right? That's it. But again, people, I can't understand, really and truly, how comes Everton beat Brighton 5-1 at home. This is interesting. But when you look at the statistics from the match, for those who watch it, I never see the game all now. I don't even see any replay. But when you look at the statistics, people, the statistics shows that Brighton has had more percentage of the game. And also, not just more percentage, they had more shots. They have the same shots on target as Everton. But somehow, 78% to 22 and lost 5-1. Drama. Too much drama in this world of football. What say you, Mr. Charles Killenbeck?
Hey, what's up, bro?
Sir Charlie,
Yeah,
thank you, man. Thank you for joining us. I see you are working on time based on your timing.
I'm still a bit behind time, but I just had to join.
Yes, based on the last conversation, it was good. But how are you doing, man?
Good enough, giving thanks, you know.
Giving thanks, giving thanks. Sir Messam was here. I think he's still here. Want to find out if Sir Charlie is in the building.
He's here in live and living colors.
So, Charlie, I mean, this is not the first time you appear on this show, so the people will know you. But I think the last time you came, you were in a different what did I say, position from where you are now. So, people, I must say, hopefully I get it right. Charlie is presently the team manager for Chapleton Maroons.
Right.
Good. And it's unfortunate that he joined or he took up that position, after which they end up in that sad situation where they were fined and been fined both ways. They're fined cash and they also fined kind. If I'm saying it right, Mr. Charlie. But that is interesting though, Charlie. That is very interesting. And one of the things that I get you on tonight is to see where Chapleton Maroon is, to find out more about, especially with the latest saga, no relegation, then relegation. But before we go there, we brought, and I had brought on air the issue when you were fined and all and that. But after that, there are nothing been communicated to the media. I for one never heard anything. Maybe it was published, but I am not sure if you were really fined that sum of money that the Constitution spoke to, or the organization committee. What had transpired? What was the latest in that situation?
Well, as you will say, you know, we were deducted 6 points and fined a huge sum.
A huge sum.
Yes.
It was the maximum that was stipulated that could have been done.
Well, that's what was basically forced on us. You see, the thing is, as a new team, because all that happened basically before I went in, right?
Right.
But from what I gathered from it, I think the JFF took an advantage of a new team. Um, the team not knowing fully. I'm not trying to make an excuse for the team itself,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
But the team had a previous manager and coach, and in my opinion, the team was not managed well. In the sense where based on some things that happened previously, which I might not want to mention.
Okay.
But
Fine.
the fact is that they lost 6 points, and I think that served as a damper for the footballers that were there to see that they lost 6 points, and the team was charged that amount of money. And I personally, when I thought I should check and see if there's anything that could be done. They pointed to the rules of the game or whatever. So I did not pursue in terms of trying to go against whatever the JFF said. But I to be honest with you, I don't have no trust in the JFF.
Are you serious? You don't trust the JFF any at all at this moment?
No, I cannot just the JFF as it is presently.
Mr. Manager, is it okay for you to state that amount that was fine?
No, I would not want to
Okay.
disclose that at the moment, but it was
No, but
broadcasted somewhere.
I don't understand because in the whole discussion, it was loud that you could be fined up to some $450,000 a year, and another big set there. But why is it? Is it a secret really? Are you because the JFF have not spoken? You don't want to come out and say,
Oh, it's not because the JFF has not spoken. It's the fact that it kind of upset me that all of this went on, and and it seemed as if the JFF just did that and swept it under the carpet like it was nothing. You understand? And it's kind of upsetting how they dealt with the situation because after the team did not turn up for the match on the Sunday, the
Mhm.
Monday, all of this came out that they were fined and points taken and all of that. So I mean, it's like the JFF did all of this the same Sunday night. I don't know what the haste was about, but by the Monday morning, the team got news that they were fined this large sum and 6 points were deducted. So I don't know how the JFF mustered that team the same night to to keep a meeting and decided on the fine because it's like you were basically fined and sentenced
Without a hearing.
without a hearing.
But Sir Charlie, look at this. My reason is that it is very, very sad. You are fined and you are deducted 6 points. That would have been a massive deterrent. That would have been a sort of demotivation for any particular club, regardless.
Yeah, true, true. Ju-
But
Just 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 think about the fact that um a club that is poor, then put it that way, because we don't know, we know what football is like in Jamaica, and there are no rich clubs and ballers getting large sums of money for pay. Just
yes,
think about what that could do to the coffers of a club that is paying footballers a minimum amount of money. Just think what that could have done to a team.
my God. The other thing that really hits me hard with that decision by the JFF, at no point after that match that you what did you say? No, you did not play. At no point the JFF came out with a press release.
That again. That again.
I really find it difficult to understand. But then, sir, you are saying to me, well, you came in afterwards, but were there any form of protests from the Chapleton Maroons over the sanctions?
All right. To be honest with you, I don't know of a protest. Um, a lot of options. They had a lot of options. There was even one option to just leave the competition. That was spoken of,
Right,
and
I heard that too.
and other things. But well, I personally wouldn't think it would have been a good idea to just step away because an issue like that came up.
Mhm.
So I would not have supported it. But they were looking at all kind of options, and they just decided not to fight. Just decided to soldier on and see how best they could come out. But I can tell you um, what happened with the fine and all of that. It it showed that it a damper on the club. Trust me.
You know, I am saying to you, though, sir, away from the threat of withdrawing, I believe if Chapter Maroons struggled to pay that sum, you'd have heard more of a protest. I think you find a way out, which is good, and not to withdraw. But the other part of it, though, sir, where has that put you? How much as a club you have learned from this situation?
Personally for me, I learned that the structure of the JFF is somewhat not right. This is my personal opinion. And why I say that, something like that could not have happened, and you don't sanction a team to face a disciplinary committee where they can come there and speak for themselves. You understand?
True.
I mean, this is in my opinion, it was autocratic the way they dealt with it. There was no democracy in how they dealt with it. I think they were really autocratic. They just handed just, yeah, this is it, take this, whether they like it or not.
Gregory Messam, I don't know if I can repeat that, but I put it on screen for those who want to read. All right. So, so Charlie, one of the things that I really looking forward to, what I would, the communication, well, throughout the Premier League season. Was it in my view, it was bad. The communication is poor. But what I want to find out is it that it is always poor, or it is just through this situation that you find that the communication is bad?
No, it's not just that. Generally speaking, um, I'll give you an instance. The last match that we played yesterday, right?
Yes.
That match was scheduled for in Saint Anne. What's the name of the
Jaxal?
Jacksal? It was
Mhm.
that's what we knew, and it was actually Saturday that I saw an email that it was to be played at Westbow.
Small Park.
Yeah, so it just came through. Just think about it. If I had not checked an email, we would have prepared for Jackson.
And you're saying it is Saturday night, sir?
I saw the email Saturday.
When was that email sent?
Honestly, what happened, up to Thursday, we knew that still heard that it was Jackson. So I honestly did just that Saturday. I went through my email and I saw it. I didn't even check the date, but I know it was not sent Wednesday or Thursday.
Wow. So from Senton to Westbow Park, it's quite a journey, right?
Yes, it is.
Who covers that transportation?
Well, the JFF somewhat I can't tell you. I honestly can't tell you what percentage they cover, but I know the JFF covers some of that cost. But the cost is not really the issue. Is the way these things are done. You know, the cost is not the big factor. It's just the way they do things.
Yes, I do understand, but what the reason why I mentioned cost though, you would have planned, I'm not sure if you have a personal team bus or you have to charter and, I don't know how you do it, but the fact that you probably would have planned to travel to Senton and then a day before you have to now move to Westport Park, that is the reason why I'm looking at it that way. And that is poor communication. I would love for the JFF to come and explain why is it that this last minute thing has been done. But let me ask though, before I even pressure JFF on that, is that email it comes directly from the JFF or it is the JFPL? That's what the name or the JFPL?
Yeah, it's not directly from the JFF, from the JFPL.
Okay, my God. So this is one of the sad story of this year, and I hope that the JFF and the JFPL actually learning from this situation and putting things to be place, because this is not the first time that I heard that overnight venues have been changed, and are it not just the venues but match nights. I've heard of teams should have had match on a Monday and it was then pushed forward to a Sunday. Have you ever had that experience?
I think we have also had that experience. We have also had that experience.
So these are the communication things that I believe need to sort out in the JPL. But we are now, so that is water under the bridge.
Yeah.
We have now heard that Chapleton Maroons and Faulkland FC have now relegated.
Yes.
What have you relegated to? Or where?
Well, I was a bit puzzled all along until yesterday. I heard some news, by the way, and I have not confirmed it as yet. But when at first we were told that no teams would be relegated, as everyone knows, right?
Mhm.
And the understanding that we got was that the JFF would bring the competition up to 16 teams. So the whole idea that we got was that two teams would have been promoted from last year to Premier League this year. No team would go down, and
Right.
the two and the first and second from this year, tier two this year also would come up to make it 16. All right, that's we settled for that, and we understood that no team would be relegated. Then we had a game at JC
Hold
last.
on, hold your point right there. Yes. The question I want to ask you as the team manager, and maybe I'm not sure, but you probably get some information. The conversation or the argument of no team will be relegated this year. Did the clubs or teams get anything in writing as it relates to that proposal?
To be honest, I honestly cannot say if the club got something because I came when I came in, right. I didn't go all the way back, but when I came on hand, that's what I heard, right.
Mhm.
And to 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 make it sound realistic is the night when the vice president came on national TV to say that no teams would be relegated. So at least if even if the club did not get anything, hearing that on national TV from a vice president would tell you that yes, it is so. If you understand what I'm saying. So even if the club did not get anything, um, my belief is that once a vice president comes on national TV to
Yes.
say that it is so, it is expected to be so because he's a man of authority, right?
But it was a day or 24 hours, probably less than 24 hours after another revelation was made.
No, but hear this. That revelation. All right. So we were at a game at JC, and a friend of mine was watching the news, and he sent
Yes.
a clip to me to say that, oh, He was excited. Oh, no teams will be relegated this year, man. You guys saved, right? And I was there. We're there thumping our fist on the bench, me and the coaching staff to say, all right, we say we're staying up, so we'll have time to, you know, come back, build back the team and so on. And the morning, which is less than 24 hours, somebody sent me another clip to say that teams will be relegated. So what I did know, I sent an email to the general secretary to say that, sir, uh, we heard it on national TV last night that no teams will be relegated, and now we're hearing this morning that teams will be relegated. The general secretary replied and said to me, "It is just as the vice president said last night." That was the answer to my question. So I
So,
said, okay, the general secretary is saying to me, it is whatever the vice president said, that is the true story. And later on in the day, again, I hear that relegation is going on.
but and the strange part about it is the technical. What's his name again? Mr. Rodolph Speed. I don't remember his position, but I think he leads the technical team of the JFF.
Yeah, yeah, something like
He
that.
was the one who revealed that there will be relegation.
So what I would know, what authority he has. I mean, that means his authority overrides the vice president and the general secretary.
Maybe it's not the authority, sir. But maybe it's the notes that he was reading from.
Well, that again. And
Because
there's a notes problem at the JFF also, because we heard that the vice president was reading from wrong note. I don't know how
the
that came
notes were
about.
not taken properly.
So
But
you're saying the notes were not taken properly.
the minutes of the meetings, something went wrong. Because that would have been the notes, I suppose.
Yes, yes, definitely.
But it's just a joke though. And seriously, when I really look into it and I try to gather information, and I must say I'm trying very hard to get one of two or even both gentlemen, Mr. Raymond Anderson and also Mr. Speed on here, just for them to show, to highlight these things, let us know what's happening. Right? And so far we have not been successful, but hopefully we'll get them one day. But the thing is though, sir, nothing in my view, and this I think it was over 2 years now they're talking about the 16 team and no relegation. I'm sure at the start of the season I've heard it, but I have not seen anything on paper. But I think it was Mr. Speed who spoke and he said that the rules are always there. And the rule said that every team, every year, there will be two teams relegated and two teams would have actually came from the tier two competition.
You see, the more I hear this, the more I am confused. So where did this 16 team argument come from? Was it just some in a meeting somebody suggested it and you forget about it? Where did this just look back, if you look at it from my point, where did this
Yes.
16 team come from?
The truth is, Charlie, there are some questions here that really need answers. And I believe, Mr. Raymond Anderson, more so, I believe, need to come and, assist because I know it has been a challenging time for them, especially Mr. Anderson, who have to withdraw, so to speak, his first statement. However, we have to see some level of respectability put across where we can understand or we can at least believe when the JFF speaks or when a member of the JFF speaks, put it that way. Because the thing is, no, every single team would have been playing comfortable knowing that they will survive another year of Premier League.
Yes, yes. That was the
And
feeling. Was the feeling throughout all of the teams. That was the feeling.
is there anything that any action that Chapleton Maroon can take? Is there any protest? Is there any query? Any questions being thrown at the JFF for them to come out and answer to Chapleton Maroons based on this position?
Ah, boy, that's a good. It's a good question, you see. But I mean, trust me, if they handle the situation like this up to now, think about it. What can, what can we achieve in asking them anything now? You know, if they have handled the situation like this, and because up until now, they still have not come out to say, well, I don't know if they said anything to Falkland in writing in terms of the relegation, but
Right.
we have not gotten anything in writing in terms of yes, it is a situation, because remember, they were the ones that came out and said no teams would be relegated. They were the ones that came back and said teams would be relegated. Up until now, they have not actually communicated directly to the club to say this is the situation. So I am saying to you, if they have not done that, I mean, what they have done before in terms of the fine and so on, I don't think they would want to come out and say anything about that either.
You know, Charlie, honestly, maybe I'm saying that now because I'm not in the position, but based on what happened, I believe it needed more than just a media release. And when I say a media release, because all that we have hearing, to me, it's more like the media's perspective. For example, it wasn't Mr. Raymond Anderson who just go out to say what's happening. It was the media who asked or interfered.
Yeah.
It wasn't Mr. Speed who just go out and decide to give a press release. It was the media who asked these questions, so we get the answers. And these are the simple things that I'm trying to understand. Who has the authority to give the information? Who is responsible?
No, that is something that is a question I've been asking myself. That's I've
You
been
need to
asking
ask, you
myself,
need to
who is
ask somebody
really,
else and stop asking yourself first.
who is no, no. I was seriously, I was asking myself, who has the authority, you know, to come out and make press releases on behalf of the JFF.
But there's a
Yeah.
press officer.
Well, I agree, but I mean, I am saying making a press release would have been some decision of the JFF, right?
True.
And not just someone because a question just asked and just come out and just because it seemed as if that's what happened with Raymond, Somebody asked a question and he came out because if it came from a meeting, I think it would have came out different. You understand? So asking Raymond and then asking Mr. Speed, it seemed as if it was just asked to them and it was not really coming from a committee meeting to say, okay, all right, Mr. Wittig, you go and do the press release. This is the situation, and you go and do the press. It don't look so to us, none at all.
But there was a meeting.
Well, so I heard.
Because remember, now, what I've also heard is that, and I've heard in the print media where the chairman of the professional body who said that 16 teams is far too much. A matter of fact, he went on to say 14 team right now is very difficult to work with. And he gave his view where he said that 10 teams would have been ideal based on the financial constraint. So it seems like they have been lobbying ever since the competition have started. Now, also, I don't know if you hear this, but I know you hear it. Maybe you don't want to say it. But Mr. Speed himself also said that it was the body who continue to negotiate for the teams to reduce. They made an appeal and then the appeal was granted. So there must be a meeting of the executive of the JFF with that body.
So the question I would ask, so why is it all of the press release, them just look willy nilly. Them just look like I just somebody just have come out and say some things. Well, I don't. And then why is it then that they're having a tier two where they want to push up two teams again? What sense does the tier two make? Because
I,
I did not hear this directly from the JFF, but somebody said the intention is, but by I think 2025 they want to have 10 teams. So so the tier two, it don't make no sense. I don't see
so
where it's making any sense.
I don't know if you have the history though, because the Maroons would have came through the tier two.
Yes, yes.
But what really is the tier two competition all about? Is it just to allow two teams to qualify?
Well, that's what it seems. That's what it seems. But I mean, if you're going to keep scrapping down the bigger league, which is the Premier League, then what sense is it going to make in the tier two? All is going to happen, the tier two are going going to seem as if it's the National League team. It
But
will
so
start,
the
it will start look like the National League competition.
competition. But sir, I would love for somebody to give me some real information or to educate me. I stand for correction. But I have never seen a league or a promotional league started before the top team, the top league is finished.
that that is something else I'm looking at and say, seriously?
I've never seen it.
But who am I to who am I to complain? Because our problem at Maroon is bigger than that. So I just leave that.
But all right. So that goes to show, sir, Faulkland and Maroons were not in the JFF plans any at all for next year Premier League.
Yes, because somebody said something to me, quite interestingly, that when the question was asked to somebody from the JFF, I don't remember who, and they said that the team just have to go back to them parish.
Somebody from the JFF said that.
Yes, yes. Somebody asked. I was having a discussion with somebody about where does the Chapleton Maroon go from here, and I was saying to him, honestly, I don't know, but in some discussion with somebody from the JFF, I understand
Mhm.
the question was asked also, and they said the team just have to go back to them parish. I don't know what that means. Going back to them parish, it simply means we would have been major league. So I don't know if how come if that is the situation, I don't know how a team would be relegated from the Premier League and pass the tier two and go back to them parish, go play major league.
So what I am not expecting that Chapleton Maroons and Falkland would be relegated this year and then come back to the Premier League next year. I know they have to play out another year.
Right, yeah, definitely, definitely.
But the thing I'm saying, they are going back two step backwards.
Yes.
Just a minute, sir. Let me get a charger for this laptop. 1 second. All right. Sorry about that. Yes. So I was just saying that the Maroons, the relegated team, are actually going one step or two step backwards. That's the other difficulty that I find. But another point, sir. Again, I'm listening keenly, and then I believe I've seen where the general secretary had a conversation about it too, short conversation. And the question was asked, where and when or what competition will these teams be played in? And the response was they will ensure that these teams played in a very organized and effective competition.
That doesn't spell anything.
What could he be talking about?
Your guess is as good as mine because as you know, as I said, I heard them say the team going back to the parish. So it's one organized competition. Each parish is major league. I don't know of any other league beside the major league. So because tier two is out, so they can't be playing tier two, right?
Yeah,
So the only thing that is left is parish major leagues.
parish major league. And one other thing as well, the parish major league. When that the Clarendon Major League have started, right? They are where are they now?
They're about 4 or 5 games up.
Up in terms of to go
No, played.
played.
I,
So,
yes, I think
so
I
they
think they
have
played.
started late as well.
Yeah, they started late.
Okay. Well, what this seems to me is that Chapleton, I don't know how you'll prepare to get back to the Major League or to the Super League, but as far as I see it, you have a long way to play any football.
Yes, that's
How
so.
are
That's
you
so.
planning for that, sir?
We actually have not met to discuss that aspect of it as yet because, as I said, the competition, our journey finished yesterday, right? So we're supposed to meet and have discussions on the way forward. We have not done that as yet because guess what? No, we realize we have a lot of time to do that. So we we weren't in, it sounds like a joke, but we weren't in much of a haste to meet as yet because we realized that we're not sure what is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, we will be meeting, in the near future to have discussions on the way forward.
Oh my. It is really sad. It is really sad. So, all right. So we are now, it is confirmed that Chapleton Maroon has been relegated, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. So we heard.
And still there's not even a text message.
So
Not
we
even a
keep
text
on,
message.
we keep after listen to the news.
Gregory Messa me say, uno no believe say a party shopper run Upper St. Lucia office. Oh my God, this is really a sad story.
I don't know what they're running, but we just need to. There's some things that needs to be fixed. You understand?
Yeah,
The JFF is not a new organization that just came on stream 2, 3, or 4 years ago. We have gone all the way to the World Cup and so on. So we should have a mature staff there, have a good understanding how to run a league and all of that. And I'm sure we have experienced persons there. But there are a lot of things that is missing. And one of them is communication. One of the main thing is communication, my brother.
so I don't want to preempt that aspect of the communication thing, but the things that I have seen in recent time with the JFF, for example, the general secretary has changed recently, and quite a respectable man who came in with a lot of experiences financially and accountability and otherwise. But for some strange reason, we have seen a recurrence of the same issues that was there before, who we blame the general secretary for. Isn't the general secretary responsible for major communication issues within the JFF?
Well, as far as I understand it, it would have been the general secretary.
Right. So these are little things that we really want to spell. I had Mr. Chung here already, and unfortunately we never get a chance to go full 100 as it relates to, his role and responsibilities. However, he assured us that things will be different, will be better. But with all of this, I'm not seeing anything better at all.
Yes, well, in any meeting, in any organization, is the general secretary are the key of any any discussion that is held, right?
Right.
By by any committee. So I figure if there's supposed to be a press release on something that was discussed, it would have come, even if he is not the one that does the press release, but
Mhm.
at least it should come from his desk, right? To get the truth out of everything. So I am wondering, with all of these releases, that's why I don't understand the old notes and all of those. I don't understand those the old notes and whatever meetings are held. Either the the general secretary is the scribe, or
Yes.
somebody that assists the general secretary to be the scribe. So notes are always there, and notes, you know, is not something that should be hidden, unless some financial matter that they don't want to come out. You understand?
Yes.
So
Yes.
the point I'm trying to bring across is that the general secretary have the notes. So I mean, if any, apparently the team not communicating with the general secretary, then
You see, that's what I'm trying to look at, and where the buck stops. Who have to step forward to say, listen, everything must come through this desk or this chair.
right? Yeah, there has to be a channel.
Exactly. There ought to be, because I am not, sir. Listen, I am not saying that the aspect of the relegation is wrong. Is the timing of it and the miscommunication or the misunderstanding, because the entire world would have known from day one that this year there will be no team being relegated. Whether
Right.
it was in a written form, we heard it verbally on a number of occasions.
Number of occasions.
And it's just at this minute. I think then during the negotiation or the appeal, right? From the PF, what's the term again? From that body coming, the PF jail, so to speak, the Professional Football of Jamaica Limited. I think that's the name of it.
Yes, yes.
I think, sir, I really believe if they're having meetings, the clubs must be a part of it. The clubs are the stakeholders. And if you continue to meet and there's no information being shared among the clubs, something is wrong. One person from overseas called me, after a show and asked if I'm sure if it's not because of these no-name clubs, why it happened to them.
No, I was asked that more than once. I was asked that too,
And
because
if you
I was asked if it I was asked if it was a Cavaliers or a Arnett or whatever, if it would have gone like that. I
it
was
could
asked
happen
that
to
question
Cavaliers.
too.
It could happen to Cavaliers.
You're sure about that?
Look here, man. Cavaliers would have known better. The coach is the chairman of the technical committee of the JFF. You forget that?
All right, so I hear you loud and clear.
So I know it would happen to them. They would know better. But though Mr. Killingbeck, how is the vibes in the team, the Maroon team? Among the players, among the coaches, among the owner.
Well, what I know, based on what I am seeing now, we will have players moving on to other teams because they are not sure what is going to happen. They have said that much, that
Okay.
ballers will be moving on to other clubs because
They
which
want
they're
to
not
play in top
sure
tier.
what their future will be like.
Yes.
So I think we'll have a lot of rebuilding to do whenever we start preparing for another competition, whichever competition it is. We'll have a lot of rebuilding to do, and then whomever is going to coach will have a free hand in terms of selecting players. But
And
we are still interested in having this club, um, move forward. Continue supporting the club in every way, because this club is more or less the strongest base in this section of Clarendon, right?
yes.
And nobody wants to actually see this club go down.
So you,
So we want to continue, you know, building this thing and carry it back to where it was than what we were relegated from.
what's the coaches? The coaches have any concerns, or are they taking this decision right now?
Well, we discussed that much, and we realized there's not much we can do, so we just decide to move on.
So the coaches will be moving on as well.
Well, no, that isn't in the timeline right now.
Okay.
That it isn't in the timeline right now. We plan to stay strong and build back. Put it this way. We plan to build back.
I thought about it. I asked the question because we know that we have an international coach, and I'm not sure of the contractual arrangements, but
No, no,
most
that
persons.
that, that arrangement was short term. It was short
Okay.
term. The contract is actually up right now.
Okay.
The contract is up right now. So it was a short term contract. So the contract is up right now. So locally, as you know, Nigel Nigel was the assistant.
Right.
So he presently is the top person right now for the way forward, and until anything, if anything changes.
So are you saying that you're Brazilian? What's his name again?
Clovis, the
Clovis
Oliveira.
Nervier. Is he still around or is out?
No, he's out. He's out. As I said, the contract is up and he's out. So remember, he's an international coach, so we couldn't have him here idle at this time.
But he would be idling. The fixtures is not up. You played the last game yesterday, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. All right. So that's where it is as it relates to your staffing.
Right, right, right.
Okay. When did he go, by the way? After the last game or prior to the last game?
Prior to.
What a contract sweet. So the contract was up before the last game of the competition. Or maybe if you would never been relegated, then you would have still have him.
Well, naturally, yes.
Okay. All right. That's fair. Sir, it has been a pleasure having you here. But let me ask this other aspect of the game. I've seen where Arnett Garden has been the number one team in the league. And I've heard on another sports broadcast that the coach from Arnett, Teagat Davis, is playing foul. He's saying that how can he or the team wins the league and don't even get a cup? Not even a teacup. What's your take on that?
In all competitions, all international, all national competitions around the world, right?
Mhm.
It's run on a league basis. I can't see why Jamaica is doing anything other than that. We spoke about it last night while we were coming back from that game that we played, and we are saying a team top the league at the end of the right, a team
Yeah.
top the league, and they might not end up become the champion when the competition finish. And in my opinion, that don't make sense,
Doesn't.
right? And it has been doing well all season, and deservingly, Arnett should be handed the cup. There should be no sorry, there should be no playoff. There should be no playoff. Arnett should have been handed the cup and whatever else comes with it. I honestly don't support anything done on a league basis for national competition. Me support Tiga. At the end of this, Tiga should have get a cup yesterday.
But the question I'm asking though, did you people have a discussion or a debate over that before? Well, you came in late,
Right.
before the competition has started, because this is not the first time.
But it's not different. But why are they sticking to it? That would be my question.
But I'm gonna try to get Tiga to the show because I need to support him. I really believe that he needs it. But the
No,
question I want to ask,
me support him 100%, man.
the question I would ask, how many teams in the Premier League now supporting Tiga and that mention?
Well, that I'm not sure, but I
I know,
know,
that's just a question.
I know, I, I, I am not representing Maroon now. I'm representing Charlie, and I support Tiga 100%.
So am I get to understand that your contract as a team manager is also up? Or your role? Let me not use contract, your role.
No, the role is not up, The role is not up because I have a dialogue with the president, and we spoke about the way forward,
That's
and
nice. That's
and
nice.
I told him that I am in it for the long haul.
Okay. That's really good. Because
You know my issue with football, right?
yes,
And football, me they just take a break because to be honest with you, a couple of years ago, watching Premier League, because me never like, it,
you take
but
a tour.
because a team came up in the era now and they were having challenges and so on, and I was asked, and I couldn't refuse.
Right.
It didn't take me, it wouldn't take me a dollar to go help them. It wouldn't take me a dollar to do that. Once asked, I would have given my service anyway.
And which is good. Really good. Because Sir Charlie, one of the things I look at, there's so many um persons, even from overseas in diaspora, who are supporting this Chapleton Maroons, the Clarendonians. And especially we can talk about Piba and the persons from the Clarendon College, all those cool boys, all those players coming from that end of Clarendon. We're supporting Chapleton Maroons. We're expecting to see Chapleton Maroons in the next season. And as
Yes,
I
yes.
said, I really wanted to come and visit game. I was waiting for that game at Turner's, but it never to be. And then when this whole thing came up, the whole vibe just cut. I can't believe that the JFF has really sanctioned a part of one club. And so to speak, I'm not saying that they say that ignorance is no excuse of the law, but a young, inexperienced club. Where was the guidance?
You
These
see,
are that I think.
I think they just say, why, if you know, even if you come, if you come, if you know. You understand?
Mhm.
In other word, like they must say, boy, once the baby born, the baby if you have sense, you know, say, boy, them not to put them on in a dog mouth or something like that. Without guidance.
Charlie, I'm gonna ask you to close the show. I'm gonna ask you to your final words, and I want you to say something to the JFF. I mean, you might not want to say what Chapleton Maroons really think now, but on your own view, you're not representing Chapleton Maroons. But to the JFF and also the PFJL of how you believe the handling of this year's Premier League and the way forward. As an experience, you're an experienced administrator by no means.
All
Your
right.
last thing.
I just said, I am talking on behalf of Charlie, not Chapleton Maroons.
Right.
I think one of the biggest issue the JFF might have is communication, right? And I believed that with the change of like the general secretary and so on, things might have been a bit different. But to be honest, I am somewhat disappointed I am disappointed in the way they come across. And my opinion, my humble opinion, I
Yeah,
think teams, it depends on who you are, which team you are, you'll be able to succeed. Uh, and I think that is wrong, because I think the new team is just as important as the old team. And my opinion also, and if I don't know what was expected of Maroons then, right? Because as I say, I wasn't part of Maroon from the initial stage, but I think the Maroons need, and not just Maroon and Falkland,
yes,
needed the support like that, that has been given to the bigger clubs. Young people need guidance, and it's just the same for young clubs. They need all the guys, no matter what they might say. Young, just like young people, young teams need
I,
guidance. And
I
without guidance, they will not achieve. What will happen is that they will come up in the competition and they will just drop right back. So I am begging of the JFF to spend time with the two teams that will be coming from Tier 2 this year. I'm asking the JFF to guide them and let them understand what the Premier League is all about, and what to expect. And I don't want them to tell me, to tell the team to look at the rules and the regulation. The teams need more than that.
because there are changes in those rules and regulations.
There are always changes. And as I said, most of these teams that are coming up now, the people are new to apart from the coaches that are there, people are new to position in terms of running a club. And running a club is not easy, right? So they need, based on the experience that the JFF has had over the years with clubs, they
Mhm.
need to guide the new teams same.
Good. Finally, to the Maroons family.
Well, to the Maroon family, I am saying that, as I said, based on the team dropping back to what, tier 2 or whatever, um, I know people will be leaving, but for the supporters, I am mainly talking to the supporters now. Um, Maroon will be coming back, and we'll be coming back strong. We just need that support that you guys have given for the past months, and
Yes.
just to say to you that we are coming back strong. So, don't get disheartened. We will be back.
Thank you very much. Well
And,
said, Sir
and, and,
Charlie.
and finally, to our president,
Yes,
you
man.
know,
Big up the president.
I have to say first, big up the president, because he jumped into this like a person jumping into water and trying to swim. And I think he did a fantastic job, because I can boast about one thing, that the way the ballers of Maroons are treated is few clubs in Jamaica got that form of treatment.
Wow.
Diet, lodging, transportation, you name it.
I must
It
say,
was tops. And no baller can say anything otherwise. Maroons were treated just like any one of the three top teams in the Jamaica Premier League. And I have to say, kudos to our president. Respect, sir. Respect.
so you continue to say our president. Who is your president?
Mr. Scott is the president.
Mr.
Mr. Scott. Mr. Michael Scott is the president.
Mr. Michael Scott,
Uh-huh.
aka Michael Cash. Sir, I want a contact for Mr. Cash. I want you to introduce Mr. Cash onto the Saudichress show. I know he's not a man who like the public thing, but it's more than just the Premier League for Mr. Michael Scott. I've heard about Mr. Michael Cash for years and I've never met him. His contribution to football is very, very strong. He is a
Mammoth.
valuable
Mammoth.
contribution,
Mammoth.
right? And I believe that we owe Mr. Michael Cash as much. And the Saudichress show would love to have a conversation with him as it relates to his whole development of the football in Clarendon. I know that he runs an academy. He still And with this, so it's not just the Premier League. He does much more than the Premier League. So kudos to Mr. Michael Scott, aka Michael Cash. And sir, I'm depending on you. I'm looking out for that phone call.
Well, the most I can do, is make the introduction between you and him.
Yes,
But
man, and that's fair enough. That's fair enough. So thank you very much, Mr. Charles Killingbeck, a former referee, a football administrator, um, not get into his other professional life, but he's a professional too, and now he's a team manager of the Chapleton Maroon. Thank you very much, sir, and have yourselves a wonderful night. We'll talk again, more
yeah,
so when we meet with Mr. Michael Scott on this very show.
I respect me, brother.
Boss, thank you very much.
Yeah,
So that we have Mr. Charles Hillenbeck, and we really appreciate his presence here tonight. He has given us a well insight of what's happening. So, people, Mr. Messam, Mr. RR, Mr. Lee, all those of the Saudichress show, Nigel Stewart, the big coach now at Chapleton Maroon, always been the big coach or the tall coach. Big up yourself. Big up yourself to all our listeners and viewers tonight. Mr. Dale Thompson, aka Serpent. Mr. Lee, bless up yourself. And people, I just want to bring across this bit of information to you. The Saudichress show is one that have an intention of bringing you valid information at all times. Yes, and we try to bring you the guests that will give you the information that are required. Good. But also, the Saudichress show, and want to introduce you to a primary school in the hills of St. Catherine, Mount Rasa Primary and Infant School. The Mount Rasa Primary and Infant School will be staging their Miss Mount Rasa pageant competition on the 19th of May at 6 o'clock on the school grounds. We ask for your support. Those who are around, come and visit us. Play a part. And of course, the next time you see me, tomorrow night, I will have a flyer or a poster to show you. And if there's anyone out there who would like to support us through sponsorship, whether cash or kind, we do appreciate that. You know my contact. You can contact the school. And of course, for those who know, Miss Jessica Brown, a teacher, who is the coordinator for that program. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we leave you tonight. And I want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you for the support. Continue to join us. But even though it's Monday night, people, remember, we'll have another show tomorrow night. Guess who we'll have? Miss Lasanya Harrison, the president of the Jamaica Teachers Association, will grace us tomorrow night. Long and waiting. Please join us. We'll discuss education. Not just for Wednesday, it's a pre-Teachers Day show. Also, we'll have a Teachers Day special, a very short one on Wednesday, just to have some interviews prior to Teachers Day with our teachers. But join us tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Early show with Miss Lasanya Harris, the president of the JTA. We will be looking at her stories. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a wonderful night and see you soon. This is where we say goodbye.